By the time you have your spiritual awakening, Kundalini awakening, by the time you're on a spiritual path, by the time you wake up to the possibility that there's more to life than that which meets the five senses, you will have heard of the theta wave. You will have heard of the alpha. You'll have heard of the beta. You'll have heard of the delta waves of frequency, our brain waves. Folks, just a little note on this, because we will be coming back later with a full post on this. When a baby is born, we say that the baby is still awake to their karmic blueprint. They're still awake to the life that they're most attached to, or the one that they might have just come out of. And they're most fragile. Have you noticed how babies sleep a lot? What do? They've got to sleep. And when the baby doesn't sleep, what does the baby feel? Really cranky. The baby sleeps, wakes up, and mainly they will be on a diet of the mother's milk, which is full of fat. And then they wake up, they sleep, they wake up, they sleep, but mostly they sleep. Sometimes the baby will wake up and suddenly cry. Now, folks, at this point, the baby can access or is in the theta state or is in the alpha state. It's a very, very easy wave. And in fact, one of the reasons why children are so creative is because of that active theta state, which kind of goes to sleep in us. It doesn't go to sleep, but we just become less frequent in that state because we become more and more entrenched into our physical life, and therefore we're more awake in our beta states or delta states. So we want to focus, we want to be alert, so we either fall asleep, but very rarely do we go into alpha and theta states. Now, folks, when you're going through your Kundalini awakening, the one thing that you'll notice is that you need a lot of rest, you need a lot of sleep. You get very, very exhausted. Now, we get very, very exhausted, not just because of what you're going through and all the cleansing and all the healing that's taking place, but because you're becoming a lot more receptive to the theta state. So actually the theta wave has become a lot more accessible, and you're going into that. Now, when you're not allowing yourself to experience that wave, whether it's in meditation or whether it is in you just becoming meditative because of your awakening, your body starts to get really tired because it's not getting its day, it's not getting its time in that theta state. When it's not getting its time in that theta state, this is the state where, there is more nitric oxide inside of you, there's more relaxation, there's that flow of anandamide, and you need to go into these states. These are the states where you'll get your divine inspiration, where you'll feel the wisdom just flowing. So if we're spending a disproportionate amount, or at least more time than you can cope with at the moment in delta states or in beta states, so in a state where you're focusing on this physical reality, where you're going into this physical reality, you're more in it, you're going to be so exhausted that you're not doing any of these. So remember, there are meditations that we do, or there are ways of inducing these states. For example, when you've just had a heavy meal, certain people recommend that you meditate or you access this subconscious when you're heavy meal, because it gets you really sleepy and you're kind of not falling asleep, but you're in that super heavy state. We are unable to stay awake. you're unable to fall asleep, and you're able to access that. Now, for those of you going through a Kundalini awakening, even a spiritual awakening, will be able to access this with greater ease. Give up the resistance. Find time to carve out in your day when you're able to easily access these states, because these states are available to you. They're available. But that need to control, or the need to sort of attend to whatever, and it's not even sometimes a need to, but we make it our need because we want things to be in a certain way, or we've got duties or responsibilities that we can't sort of shut out from. But you'll find that you're getting drained. So give yourself that whenever you can. Just say no to everything else and say yes to this. And when you say yes to this, you will be surprised at the level of eureka moments that you're going to have, the amount of wisdom that's going to flow through you, the amount of ideas that just come to you. It will really shock you, folks. So take that time to listen to yourself, to listen to your body. There will be more on this, folks. There'll be a longer post later. Stay tuned. Lots of love.